Howdy, welcome back to Leah's Leaves. It is January, it's snowing outside, and I am in my office planting seeds. I get to garden in the snow. This is how important that the seed starting thing is to me, is that here in my music studio, because this is what I do for a living, is I'm a professional musician, I have all of my instruments set aside and my drum set dismantled. And all my instruments in their cases so that I have room to plant some seeds. And today is all about the hot peppers. Hot peppers take longer to germinate and get started than other types of peppers. The hotter the pepper, generally speaking, the longer it'll take to really get rolling, okay? And what I have here right now, I just moved, I'm still unpacking. I have garden amendments that are under 6 inches of snow right now and are frozen solid to each other. So I'm not doing full-fledged seed planting. There's not a lot of bed prep going on right now. I'm not building out my beds yet. I have all the materials that I brought with me from Virginia to Pennsylvania to do all that. I just can't do it now. It's been, I moved here officially on January 2nd. We've had 2 days since January 2nd where the temperature was above 36 degrees. And the other night it got down to 3 below. That's the coldest it's been. We've had temperature like wind chill lower than that, but the actual temperature was 3 below zero. And we're having another cold day tomorrow where the low is supposed to be about 1 below zero. So I'm inside thinking about hots. I want to talk to you about my setup a little bit. I have a very inexpensive grow light system here. It's T-Power T5 light. It's 6400 Kelvin, so it's giving off a good deal of ambient light and heat for my seedlings. This just 2 little light bulbs suspended on a lightweight frame. I got this on Amazon. I'll leave a link below if I can even find the product on there. I got it a couple years ago. I've been using it. I have a couple of heat mats. Didn't cost me more than 20 bucks. And I have some bottom watering trays that are solid on the bottom, no holes. And then some seed cells of 2 different sizes. These smaller ones are going to grow some herbs. I'm going to do my herbs today too and get those started because I cook with them. I'm also going to grow some microgreens while we're here under the grow lights, and I have room on the heat mat for those. And then in this tray right here, I'm going to start all of my super hot peppers. These are like on a scale of 1 to 4. These are my 3 and 4 star peppers. So these are the ones that are like pepper powder and hot sauce and the things that I make for me to use that none of my family will eat. That's what's going in here today. Okay. I want to show you how I have this set up. My soil mixture is a combination of peat moss and a little bit of potting mix that I just had extra of that's been moistened. I like the way Callie Kim describes it. She says, get it to the stage of crumbly brownie mix. So it's moist and it'll be damp when I put the seeds in, but it won't be sopping wet. So if I were to squeeze it, water would not drip out. Okay, that's what you want. You want a little bit of moisture here for your seeds to get started. And then from this point forward, they'll bottom water. I'll put the water in the bottom of the tray, and these holes on the bottom of the seed packets will wick the water up into the soil from the bottom instead of the top. What that does is it keeps the very topmost layer of soil free of moisture that gets warm, and then it can cause mold and fungus, and it can be a haven for fungus gnats and aphids and other pests that can attack your young tender seedlings. I'm also going to show you real quick how I label everything. I got away from using a lot of plant tags by using this system instead. What I do is I label my tray. This one says LF, which stands for left front. And it's number 2, so it's tray number 2. And I'm going to put this in front of me. I'll always know which is the front. This is the front. So even if I'm turning it or moving it around or moving it from place to place, whenever it gets set back down, it'll be oriented in the right direction. And then what I do is I create a map that goes in my garden journal. And the map will tell me which seed cell has which seeds in it. And then this tray number 2 can be repurposed over and over and over again. So in another like 4 to 6 weeks, I'll start planting my brassicas. And I'll use tray number 2, because by then my hot peppers will be transplanted, or up potted rather, to continue growing. So this tray will be available for bottom watering, and I'll start a new map with my brassicas identical to this one. That way I don't have to put plant tags in. I don't have to worry about the marker rubbing off. I don't have to worry about the cats knocking things over and, you know, 2 plant tags falling out and I don't know which one went with which plant. That's all mitigated. And not to mention, it just cuts down on the amount of small objects I have to worry about. Before I get too far into the planting and sowing of the seeds, I want to show you what I'm actually growing as far as hot peppers are concerned. You can see my little map has gotten started here because I sowed some seeds. I haven't poked any down or covered them yet, and that's just for me to be able to keep track of which cells I already put seeds in and which I didn't, in case I get mixed up in the process. But I'm planting some serrano peppers that I saved from my garden this year. A red Peter pepper. There's another grower on YouTube, Garden State Gardener. And Joe on Garden State Gardener is having a Peter pepper challenge, and I'm going to participate in that to try to grow a huge Peter pepper in my garden. So planting 2 cells with Peter pepper seeds in them to hedge my bets and get some good plants going. A tepine pepper, also called chiltepine. These are a small ornamental. Let me see if I can get that picture. You can see there, it's a small bush and they have teeny tiny little peppers, but they pack a real punch heat-wise. Oh, look, my garden gnome came to visit. Hi, Claire. You want to say hi to everybody? Hi. What you doing? Growing some red savina. These are an habanero type, but they're bred to be hotter than a typical Caribbean habanero. I tried growing these last year, and it was my fault. The seeds germinated, and then I let them dry out under the grow lights. I got busy doing other things, and I wasn't keeping up with the watering, and so I did not have any red savina. So I'm trying them again. These are peppers that are seeds that I bought 2 years ago, and they'll be fine. Just to mention, if you're ever growing seeds that are 2, 3, 4 years old, they're going to be fine. If they've been stored well, if they've been stored in a cool, dry place, they're going to last. So don't throw old seeds away. And don't let the packets fool you. If they say packed for 2021 and you're like, well, crap, it's 2022 now. You can still sow the seeds from 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018. If you get older than that, just put 2 in place where you would normally put 1. Because, yes, germination will go down a little bit, but it won't disappear completely. And there's still a good chance that one of those seeds will germinate and you will get food for your family. Okay, there's I'll stop preaching now. Sugar Rush Peach peppers. I wanted to grow these last year and I couldn't find the seeds in time to sow them. So I found them in the off season and I'm very excited to add these to my garden. I've never had them before, but the description is that they're fruity sweet. They have sort of a tropical overtone, but with smokiness. So if any of you have grown Sugar Rush Peach peppers before and want to add any comments in the comments, then by all means, please do so. I'm personally very excited about these peppers this year. What else is going in? Okay, from a seed swap, shishito peppers. From an M.I. Gardener seed grab bag at the end of the season, boot jalokia peppers. My favorite peppers that I grew last year, Fatalii peppers. They're the hottest pepper that the Seed Savers Exchange sells. New to me, lemon drop peppers. Also new to me, devil peppers. I love the name. These I won online on an online drawing from atomicpepperseeds.com. 7-pot bubblegum yellow. Another seed swap variety I got, Tabasco. Very excited about Tabasco peppers. Figure out how to make my own Tabasco sauce. Thai chili peppers. Yum. Yes, please. Another seed swap variety. Datil peppers, or datil. I'm not sure how they're pronounced, but they're supposed to be delish. This is another one I'm very excited about. Berry cream bubblegum 7. Stabilized, super hot. This one I won on the drawings on Garden State Gardener's weekly seed giveaway. Peach gum crossed with a red tiger. If you don't know Joe Koslowski at Garden State Gardener yet, you need to find his channel and subscribe. Count Dracula peppers. These came to me from D. Cressy from Garden of the Eden. And I will put both Garden State Gardener and Garden of the Eden links in the description, as well as atomic pepper seeds. These yellow Scotch bonnet peppers also came from D, my soil sister, somebody I enjoy swapping with. Some cayenne peppers. These were just saved from a really delicious, healthy, large cayenne pepper that I had bought from an organic grower in my community. And it was such a beautiful pepper that I ended up not eating it. I just let it ripen and then I saved seeds from it so I could grow more like it. And last but not least, orange habanero. These are ones that I saved from my own garden this year. These aren't all the peppers that I'm growing, but these are the ones that will take the most time. And so I need to get them started now. General rule of thumb for peppers is that the hotter the pepper, the longer it'll take to germinate and get started growing. Also, because I moved to Pennsylvania recently and we have shorter summers than where I was living in Virginia, I want to give all my peppers a head start now. And in February, I'll grow the rest in February. Those are like the jalapenos and Anaheim peppers and hot wax peppers and some of the ones that are milder, plus all my sweet peppers. Those won't be sown till the end of February. But by the time we get to our last frost date, which is mid-May, really safely, like the first week of June actually, then they'll be safe to go in the ground and they'll have a good head start and they'll have a long enough growing season to develop and ripen. And hot peppers in particular, because they take so long to grow, you really want to pick them when they're ripe. And because I've always lived in northern or mid-Atlantic climates, it's hard to get a ripe pepper at the end of the season before the first frost comes. You can see the Christmas tree farm. That's the next door neighbor's house. Isn't that pretty? We're getting more snow today, so today's an indoor activity day. I'm sowing 2 seeds per cell. That's partly to hedge my bets and make sure I have a good germination rate. It's also partly because I know that not a lot of the nurseries in my area sell super hot peppers. You just don't have these varieties available. If you're a home grower and you're trying to find exciting varieties, you're not going to find them at Lowe's. You know what I mean? No offense to Lowe's, and I've bought plants at Lowe's before too. But this gives me the opportunity to have some surplus that I can sell in a plant sale in spring before the last frost. Those are orange habs. So what I'm doing here is I have the front of my tray labeled left front. I numbered my cells. There's 6 cells in each of these containers. So I numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, front to back, left to right. And then I'm just creating a map that corresponds to that. So I have serranos in the front, Peter peppers in the middle, tapine and red savina in the back. Here in the second tray, I have sugar rush peach and orange habanero. I'll put my cayenne pepper there. And my Count Dracula pepper. I'm so excited about this. I love it when a plant has an interesting name that tells you about kind of what to expect. It could be the color, like this berry cream. You know, there's nothing berry or cream about a pepper that's so hot you'll cry if you eat it. But the color is going to be glorious. Count Dracula, Dee wrote a note here that it falls on the Scoville scale between 5 and 30,000 on the Scoville units. So it's not a super, super hot pepper. I'm going ahead and starting it today, though, to give it a head start. Anyway, this is a new to me pepper. I'm very excited to grow it. I'm going to finish out these trays. And then the last thing I'm going to do is put water in the bottom that will wick up and water my peppers from the bottom. I'll poke all these in and pinch soil over top them. And then the very last thing is I'm going to sprinkle a light layer of vermiculite over the top. And that will help to trap moisture and keep the top layer from evaporating too quickly while the seeds are germinating. Anyway, that's my hot peppers. I'd love to know what you're growing. Or do you like hot peppers? A lot of people don't. I happen to love spicy food, and I like to make my own hot sauces and salsas. I've never made pepper powder before, but I do have a dehydrator that I'm excited to bust out and use. And so that's something I'm very interested in doing this year. I even have an old coffee grinder that's now dedicated expressly to grinding peppers. I won't grind any more coffee in it. It's just for hot peppers so that I can make my own pepper powder. Anyway, leave a comment. Were any of these varieties interesting to you or new to you? I'd love to know that. Or are you growing any of these? More importantly, a lot of these are new to me. So if you've grown them before, like have you grown the red Savina? Have you grown a bubblegum pepper? Have you grown the Fatalii? Let me know how your experience was. What did you like about them? What worked? What helped your growing season to be successful? Anyway, I'm learning a lot and sharing it here. I'm so excited to be gardening in January and getting these super hot peppers started. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.